Funding for Shaperless is provided by
Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video. You know, I'm a bit worried that I'm not ambitious enough with my ranking every Star Wars movie by any criteria except actually as movies series I've got going on. I need to get weird with it. Not just say, oh, which one used C-3PO the best? Oh, which one has the best score? Nah, man. We need to look at the most important aspect of art in general and ask ourselves, which Star Wars movie has the most amazing looking water? Just stay with me on this. So there's a bit of a meme regarding this guy named Wii U, who was a user on the now defunct Nintendo social media service Miiverse. In every single post he made, he always made a point of showing how amazing the water looked in each game he played. This deeply inspired me on a profound and emotional level. Now, whenever I play a game, I look at amazing looking water and say, wow, amazing looking water in this game. This is extended into my everyday real life. If I'm near a beach or a river or a swimming pool, I don't know, I'll take in the gorgeous sights and think to myself, wow, amazing looking water in this real life. And this also applies to movies as well. You ever think about how amazing the water looks in Star Wars movies? No? Oh, you will be. You will be. Yep, that's the intro. Let's rank the 9 Star Wars Skywalker Saga films by how amazing the water looks in each of them. I'm gonna be honest, I just needed a quick video because of all the massive rankings I have planned for the rest of the year. So yeah, let's get this thirst-quenching adventure going.
Disappointment in the game of life.
I can't believe there are people who say A New Hope is the pinnacle of the franchise when it doesn't even have good looking water. SMH. This is your GOAT, people? Really? I skimmed through this entire film for signs of water because I'm not gonna rewatch all of them just for this video. Are you kidding me? And the most prominent substantial example of water I could find was the trash compactor scene. Filthy, disgusting, grimy, ass-colored water. There's a dirty spaghetti monster living inside it. Oh god, it's all just too horrible to watch. Luke getting dragged into this filth is meant to evoke disgust from us as an audience. But this is a gross misappropriation of the concept of water in general. Water is good. It's life-giving. It's supposed to represent eternal rebirth and majesty and other positive feelings that I don't feel like listing right now. A luminous substance it is, not this crude bullshit. You'd think setting the first half of this movie on a desolate desert planet devoid of any liquid other than blue milk is setting the narrative up to deliver some truly majestic water that Luke has never seen before in his life during the second half. But instead, his first encounter with water is this gross trash substance. Awful. Awful, George. You made an awful first impression on the water community. May Neptune have mercy on your soul.
What are you doing in my swamp?
The Empire Strikes Back is only a marginal improvement in the amazing looking water department. You could say, well, the ice on Hoth looks pretty good. And what is ice if not frozen water? But f that, man. If I wanted to say amazing looking ice in this movie, I would. But that's not what we're judging. We're looking at the liquid stuff. The non-frozen H2O. And our main source of it in this movie is the planet Dagobah. At first glance, it seems like the water is just as disgusting as it was in the Death Star trash compactor room. R2 falls into it and gets covered in grime. The X-Wing falls into it and gets covered in grime. It's not looking too good, Chief. But you must unlearn what you have learned about swamp water being really gross. Because if you pay attention, there are a couple decent looking visuals with this water. It's got a nice misty look to it. And it's kind of satisfying when Luke first crashes down on the planet and there's just a huge splash in front of him. I mean, yeah, this doesn't look amazing, but at least there's decent looking water in this movie. The main advantage this movie's water has over A New Hope, though, is the rain scene where R2 peers into Yoda's hut. Now that is some pristine rain. I've always liked the way it looked, especially reflected off of R2. And in the exterior shot of Yoda's hut, the swamp water doesn't look too bad either. Okay, this movie officially has good looking water in some places. I cannot in good conscience rank it any higher because the swamp water in most shots still looks like ass. It makes you feel filthy just looking at it. Overall, the water in this movie still skews negative, but I swear we'll get to the amazing ones soon enough.
Welcome to the Shrek in the Swamp karaoke dance party.
Look guys, you gotta understand, the technology was just not there yet in the 80s to make truly amazing looking water. Despite featuring a lush forest moon, Endor is suspiciously devoid of water, even though I know it was there in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. I saw that waterfall and river. Ah well, no water on Endor in real life. Instead, we're just stuck with more Dagobah water. The reason Return of the Jedi outranks Empire, despite only really featuring water on the same swamp planet, is because nothing falls in the water in this movie and gets gross like it did in Empire. The water is shown far less prominently. And during the few shots where it is shown, it honestly looks kinda good. Weirdly soothing and gentle. Perhaps to align with Luke's far less hostile feelings about the planet now that he knows his trusted mentor lives here. Or maybe I'm reading too much into this. Nah, that can't possibly be the case. The quality of the water visuals in these movies is the key to all this. So with that said, is there any other water in this movie? There was some slightly green tinted water in Jabba's jar that he ate frogs out of. Okay, let's move on to the trilogies that made water look amazing already.
In the fire of water.
Look, water isn't exactly Revenge of the Sith's thing. It's much more of a lava guy. But with that said, this movie does contain a couple of instances of water that I'd say is pretty damn amazing looking. First, I want to give a special shout out to the deleted scene from the opening on Grievous's ship, where Anakin and Obi-Wan tread through some water, which would have looked damn amazing had the VFX actually been finished. I mean, to be fair, it still looks damn good, like I want to go swimming in that. But unfortunately, we can't really consider this since it's not a part of the finished film. Instead, we just have to admire how the water looks on the war-torn shores of Kashyyyk. You know what? I think this does qualify as amazing. The way the droid armies skim over them, the mist their vehicles produce, the splashes made by each blaster bolt, is just deeply inspiring stuff. Tragically, this scene only lasts a minute, but we do get another satisfying glimpse of water later on Utapau, where Obi-Wan gets Order 66 and makes such a visually stimulating splash as he crashes into the lake below. It looks like a really fun dive, despite the fact that this was an attempted assassination from his former commander and friend. Finally, we get a pair of awesome shots back to back of Obi-Wan swimming, complete with bubbles, and the water right up against a nice rock formation. Yep, I can definitively say that every instance of water in this movie has been amazing looking. The main thing holding it back is how little of the film said water actually takes up. Let's look at the 5 other films that make more of a splash. Speaking of making a splash, that's what you could do if you build a website with Squarespace. Haha, perfect transition, baby!
Squarespace is an amazing online website builder that enables you to create beautiful websites for your business or personal hobby. Start a completely personalized website with the new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. There are so many professionally curated layout and styling options you can use to craft a unique online presence tailored to your brand or business, and optimized for every device. Easily launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated, optimized SEO tools, so you show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. Running a business is so easy with Squarespace thanks to their simple but powerful payment tools. Accept credit cards, PayPal, and Apple Pay. And in eligible countries, offer customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. These seamless checkout options allow you to easily sell exclusive content on your site. And so does the ability to add a paywall to sell memberships or courses, or sell files your customers can download, like PDFs, music, or ebooks. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/ShadeForAList to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
The Force Awakens is the first Star Wars movie to accurately portray someone who's really thirsty for water, which is a universal human experience. Why the hell did Luke never express a strong desire for water despite living on a hot, shitty desert planet? I guess he had blue milk or whatever, but Finn knows what the real good hydrating stuff is. Regular old H2O. We get to see him drinking out of a stinky animal water pit. And you know what? I'm not here to judge how gross it obviously is. I'm here to judge how it looks. And it looks pretty decent. I mean, he's visually repulsed by the taste, but he still goes back for more. I think that tells you that Finn has an eye for the aesthetic of water above all else. To be fair though, I definitely wouldn't call this amazing looking water. But then we eventually get to Takodana, and oh my god, now this is some amazing looking water. Yeah, Rey is more focused on the greenery or whatever, but this is also probably her first experience with a huge body of water. Let's not forget that. The way it complements the castle, ooh, and the way the Falcon flies above it, making ripples. Damn, is it great visually. On top of that, Rey's force vision when she touches Anakin's lightsaber is coated with incredible looking rain. I love the way it gets blown by the wind and how reflective it is off of Kylo's lightsaber. And as if all that wasn't good enough, we get the super cool massive waves made by the X-Wings arriving on Takodana. Ah, man, it's so nice to have a movie that loves the look of water. Then I guess the Starkiller base planet has snow on it, blah blah blah, snow isn't real. I'm just in it for the water, man. But I guess that's it for this movie. Whoa, never mind, of course. How could I forget the ending on Ahch-To? Simply stunning how sprawling and incredible this water looks. I won't say too much else about this planet in particular though, since we're gonna be seeing a lot more of it and its water in the later films in the trilogy. Overall though, this is an excellent start for a trilogy with consistently amazing looking water. That is the one thing you can give Disney. They definitely don't skimp on the water budget in their movies.
Better dead here than dead in the core.
By sheer coincidence, my 4 least favorite Star Wars movies are the 4 at the top of this list. That's how you know I'm completely unbiased when talking about the damn water in this saga. Going into the script, I didn't really expect The Phantom Menace to rank this high, because I didn't remember any particularly amazing looking water in this movie, but it turns out I somehow completely forgot about the underwater Gungan city of Utugunga. Am I stupid? Right at the beginning of the film, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan follow Jar Jar into a pristine looking lake. Like on the surface, this already looks great. But it turns out, this is just the beginning. The gorgeous lights of the city illuminate the water down here. Plus it's got bubbles and fish swimming around. Oh my god, that's what I call water enhancements. And then there's that sick as hell 1999 CG effect of them crossing through the water barrier to get into the city. Like yeah, I'll say it, I think that looks amazing. Sorry if you don't, society. Mainly though, The Phantom Menace really soars water-wise because of the trip through the planet's core. Such a rich and potent, deep dark blue. It looks so treacherous and intriguing. There are other great shots to come of Naboo's beautiful canals and waterfalls. Dude, I heckin' love the design of Space Italy, especially the water within it. Overall, this movie has some real standout watery moments, and I almost put it in the top 3, but then I reevaluated just how incredible the water was in a movie I despise. Can you guess which one that could possibly be?
Catch a wave!
You guessed it! Here's The Rise of Skywalker. A movie that really takes its time getting to the good stuff, i.e. the water. But when it does, oh man does it look amazing. Those ginormous waves standing guard for the Death Star 2 wreckage. Ooh boy, to a water enthusiast like me, this is the stuff dreams are made of. The sheer scale of the waves as Rey pilots that speeder across them. Oh man, do they evoke such awesome power. They're a really nice shade of navy blue as well. Simply mesmerizing to stare at. And they make for a great backdrop / stage hazard during Rey and Kylo's mediocre lightsaber duel. I truly don't have enough good things to say about the way they look. I love when Kylo emerges from the mist all soaked and shit. Me after I've been to a water park and the big bucket full of water got dumped on me for real. And the subtle use of rain in the background when Leia reaches out to Ben is a great visual that signifies how the two of them are connected in this moment. Finally, we get a bit of Ahch-To again and we see some nice looking water dripping off of Luke's X-Wing. Overall, this is a pretty great showing in terms of amazing looking water. Probably as high as The Rise of Skywalker is ever gonna rank on one of these lists. Yeah, maybe there was water on Exegol too, because it's all blue and shit. I don't really remember, and I'm not gonna look at more footage of this movie to find out.
Water.
The Last Jedi is our runner-up for having the most Ahch-To out of the entire sequel trilogy. And Ahch-To is easily one of the most visually gorgeous planets in all of Star Wars, both in terms of its greenery and in terms of its amazing looking water. Oh man, look at it up against the rocks of the coast. Check out that shot of the submerged X-Wing. Holy shit! This is amazing looking water if I've ever seen it. Just so many gorgeous visuals to be found in this endless expanse of ocean. Luke even pole vaults over it at one point and catches a giant fish. Aw man, fishing has never looked more visually appealing in any movie. Well, probably it has in some movie I've never seen before. But regardless, this is some good looking fishing with some good looking water attached. Oh, and don't even get me started on Rey's first training session where she visualizes water in all its aspects, not just the dogmatic narrow view of it looking amazing. I mean, to be fair, it does look amazing in all these shots. But what I mean is, it's not explicitly positive in all of them. It represents violence in a stunning yet sad shot. But other shots in this sequence depict it as calm and peace. Water can truly represent a lot of things. But the one consistent thing about it in this movie is that it always looks incredible. And then of course there's the avant-garde spraying of water that concludes this scene. Boy oh boy does it look cool. We even get more ominous yet inviting and visually stimulating water when Rey goes into the creepy hole. And who could forget how striking and powerful it looks during Rey and Luke's duel. This movie might have the most purposeful use of amazing looking water in the entire Star Wars saga. You can tell Rian Johnson really has a great understanding of water as a concept, which almost makes up for him not understanding Finn's character at all, among other terrible things in this movie. Dude, it is so fun being a Last Jedi centrist. It's like I'm living a double life or something. Okay, back to the water. It looks incredible in this movie. But there's one other Star Wars film where it looks even more amazing. Let's be honest, you knew exactly what was gonna be number one. In my mind, there was no other possibility for the top spot. It is the Star Wars movie with by far the most iconic water visuals of all time, Attack of the Clones. And before we get to the main reason why, dude, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot how amazing the water looks on Naboo in this movie. I can't think of a better backdrop for Anakin to talk about how much he fucking despises sand. Oh, and that shot where they're in the field with the waterfalls behind them? The scenery does a lot of the heavy lifting in making you care about this relationship at all. It's so idyllic and dreamlike and unbelievably gorgeous. Honestly, Naboo might just be the best planet to live on in all of Star Wars. I mean, sure, the occasional trade blockage happens every once in a blue moon. And if we're being real, the rent is probably insanely high. But man, it's just too much of a natural wonderland. I think it's worth it. But the gorgeous waters of Naboo are not why you come to this movie for damn amazing looking water. You come for Kamino. A truly awe-inspiring, perpetually stormy planet with an amount of amazing looking water so high, it might as well be illegal. The way the rain reflects off the landing platform and Jango Fett's armor is so striking. And then of course there are these vast oceans which, while admittedly looking less dynamic and a bit less striking than the waves in Rise of Skywalker, still paint a visually stimulating picture of a fascinating alien world with more subdued and controlled oceans. Perhaps a safeguard is in place for Tipoca City that dispels massive waves from forming? I don't know if that's lore accurate, but the point is, Kamino's waters just light up your imagination and look damn incredible visually while doing it. After the first hour, both Anakin and Obi-Wan trade their gorgeous watery settings for harsher deserts, but the impression Kamino and Naboo both leave on you with their water never goes away. And what happens in the final shot of the movie? Somehow the water returned, sparkling in the background as Anakin and Padme embrace. There simply was never a contest to be had here. Attack of the Clones is easily my pick for having the most amazing looking water in all of Star Wars. So, yep, that's my ranking of which Star Wars movies have the most amazing looking water. It's gonna be really hard to think of an idea dumber than this, but I'll try my best. And that's a promise. Good night, Tri-State area.